What's up, YouTube? Q3 of 2026. I didn't think we'd hit the bottom at Q3. Usually it's Q4 as the previous cycles. However, I believe the bottom is in for a number of reasons, which I've been kind of documenting myself as of late. However, yeah, so like I have not gone anywhere. I've just been much more focused on learning, um, much more specificalities, and actually getting better and more precise. But then I realized, like, oh shit, I'm gonna literally, um, things are about to change fairly soon. And yeah, might as well just at least have a paper trail on my side. So, Wyckoff, the main schematic reason, the reason why the market actually moved is because of Wyckoff. You can use different methodologies, methods, but I use Wyckoff in particular because it's much more accurate, and it could be used in reverse as well. So what we're seeing now exactly is a accumulation model schematic 1. You see the first low here at the SC, then you have a deviation, that's ST in phase B, and then another tap, which is number 3, aka spring. So SC here, that first, you got that first deviation, ST in phase B, and then that third deviation here. Okay, and what do you know? That is the spring. So, other things that coincide, confluence, is the FRVP, fixed range volume profile. As you see, I measured it from that first SC into that last one, and even into our current price action. Our volume area low, which is that first dotted line here, is where all the 3 taps are. So huge confluence, it's just +1. It's not something to use just, but it does provide confluence. You add about 5 confluences at least. I just named 2, right? The accumulation model, and then FRVP into the low, then you're getting a really good deal, right? So, and then 2, timing wise, this we are at ranging for about 180 days. Typically, it's 365 from the very top, which is very commonly understood from each past bear market, so I'm not going to do it now. Give or take like 1 day. It's very accurate in the past. So it could still happen, but I'm not going to be waiting till then because I see the signs now. That would be about October 6th, by the way. So just invested my last portions today, actually. So we are about 60 days, exactly 62 days maybe, to that potential bottom. So I'd rather be early than late. So I'm expecting at least all-time highs. Bitcoin wise, from this price 64 is about 100%. That's 2 extra money. I called it actually on my Twitter, my X, as well. So getting a little earlier would have been like 113. So double your money and some change at that point. However, that's Bitcoin, the main market maker of the crypto market, right? The powerhouse. And as you see here, also a confluence locally. We have a 2-day bars pattern. You got it wicking, and the higher the time frame, the stronger it is. Yeah, that's pretty textbook. Right there, TCT model 1. You see the last two are green, and in my chart I have it blue, but same thing. And then you got that starting higher with a deviation as well. So that is actually like a perfect confluence. Number 3. Learned this from Wyckoff Insider, and I believe Lars Kuistra may have talked about it a lot as well. So, furthermore, as I was saying, yeah, 2 extra money, pretty good, pretty safe. However, I'm looking for what I found. XRP is a much more interesting and better risk to reward. This one moves with Bitcoin typically as well, and it has its own schematic. So it's been also 180 days ranging. Just like Bitcoin, it has been sideways, exactly what we want to see. And you could even argue it's been sideways from here, which is about 300 days from last October of 2025. So sideways even longer than Bitcoin, holding price very well. Again, we have another confluence. Wyckoff schematic 1. You got that first deviation, you got that second deviation, you got that third deviation right there if you want to call those macro, or you could go even more local into this one. That could be the SC, and this could have been the PS, right? This is the PS, the first part of it. So this could be the start of the SC. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, labeled in my color blue. The FRVP on the whole entire thing shows the volume area low is about $1, which touched a few weeks ago now, and I actually bought on that day. So that has been a pretty good purchase of dollar cost average. Not my only buy-in, but we're up. Locally, we have on that tap 2 where the STB would be its own model 2. We see that very often right here, model 2. You got that first tap or the SC into that second tap. I'm just gonna call it taps for the rest of the video for the sake of time. Hope you're listening, paying attention, because that's old news at this point. We gotta move on with the context involved. And that third tap is actually higher. So what do we use for that? Here is that local we're talking about, where this red starts, that's the SC, and this here would be the ST and B, or the tap 2, and then tap 3 would be here. It looked for liquidity, and it actually bounced off of this demand to our demand here. Why do I know it's demand? Although it was mitigated before. Not gonna find it in this video, that's beside the point, but the reason why it's demand is because there is a gap here with a fair value gap, and that to me, and is because reason is because the market makers leave these inefficiencies for a reason. They come back, and that's exactly what we did. We came back. We actually made a local model here as well. Local model and the local model. So cycles within cycles, time frames within time frames. So that will be our tab 3. So this is his own model here that I could even label it as another color just so you could see this is that first model. So imagine if you had a long there. That may have been the bottom right there. I did it with spot, so pretty happy overall. Now, targets. This whole thing is liquidity. It came down real slow. It's been sideways. And I'm also, just like Bitcoin, targeting the all-time high. Just like Bitcoin, I'm expecting it to go to the all-time high and then deviating for a potential Model 1 or Model 2. It could even go higher and then eventually get it, right? For example, instead of that, although I'll be de-risked right at the all-time high, I'll be de-risked already, but it could just keep on going. Into the 1618, which is about $8, because I believe this coin is suppressed. It's one of the category winners. The Senate is using it. All the big powers like WEF is using it, have it, hoarding it, all these other confluences, and this is not even talking about the chart itself, which you see it's in its own model. The last time it's had a model, as you see here, was like a 350-day model, and it moved up from that point to a almost 700%, 650. So that's about 8x your money. From this point, this price, which is 107, to the all-time high is about 243, 244. So 3.4x your money. If it goes higher than that, I'll be de-risked again, but I'll still hold some. Looking for distribution models to get out. So we're looking at a potential, again, like 700%, nearly. So we have an opportunity, again, this cycle for very, very similar gains. Until eventually we will be getting kind of like this. What we see here is the opposite. Not the point of this video now, but it's in reverse. This is the Model 1 in reverse, Model 2 in reverse. What we got with XRP was a Model 2 in reverse. And that only took, let's see, 200 days or so. So that's why it's important to get out during all-time highs. It is literally a bear trap a lot of the times. It's not just with XRP. I've seen it with Bitcoin even. Even if it's momentarily. We've seen it with Solana last cycle. You know, everyone, including myself, was saying it's gonna go to 1,000 or, you know, close, and all it did was a local Model 1, and it just deviated the all-time high. So I'm thinking it's gonna do a high time frame Model 2 with the 3 tap, or 1, whichever it may be, getting this liquidity, and from there That's it. It's gonna go all the way back down to like $7. But anyway, XRP, one last coin that I'm invested in for this cycle is Dogecoin. It's in its own model as well. This one is a PO3 though. So you got we got a model 1 here that was forming, and then eventually it went into its own. Yeah, here it is. See in this red, 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap there, and then it went into its manipulation phase right here. So all this is manipulation, and what we're looking at is locally a tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. So a local model 1 in the manipulation. Conservative targets is what I'm looking for, just like XRP. Again, if it goes higher, that's great, but I'm not banking on it. So that's that first range. We're currently in the manipulation. And then we got expansion. So those are my targets. We're going to, at the very least, 22 cents. Price-wise, percentage, it's about 214. So, actually that's less than XRP. We'll see. It could, looks like it deviated here, right? Last cycle in 2021 into this one, 2023. I mean, what is it, 24? It could do a Model 1 or a Model 2. So it could actually go up all the way up into here, 43 cents potentially for that Model 2. And do a macro just like what we talked about with Solana. These are just scenarios. So if it goes all the way there, hits that liquidity, that should be enough liquidity. And there you go, 500%. So 6x your money. And then from there, if it does confirm, I'm expecting all the way back low to 4 cents, about 5 cents. So this is many steps ahead. We're not there yet, but we will update how it goes. And yeah, I am not waiting any longer. I have seen a lot, enough, and too many confluences are here. Let me go through some of the confluences as well that are just not chart wise, but it is what I'm seeing for the retail, what they are seeing. Signing into my X, and it'd be for Watcher Guru. They have like 500,000 followers. Okay, where is my login details when I need it? Harris. Did I say 500,000? It is like half of like 10 million. It's 4.6. Can't find my login details right now. Posting and following X is not my main thing. I'd rather be learning and living my life. But essentially this week, even today, it was literally the market is trying to scare retail into selling their Bitcoin, into selling their crypto, saying things like, and it's true, I'm not saying that this is not true, but it's convenient, and the word is convenient because they're using it at today's time for that manipulation, for that change of hands. And what are they saying? They're saying things, events are happening, Bitcoin, crypto, cold wallet stolen, 90 million here, a couple days later, 115 million today, for example. That happened today. Even Michael Saylor, I think yesterday or the day before, sold his Bitcoin for his master MicroStrategy stock. So huge news coming in left and right. It doesn't mean there won't be more, and we're already there. But again, I don't want to be in that last second. We are in the bottom-ish now, at the very least. So that's what I'm in. Alright, YouTube, subscribe, like the channel, and if you learned something or have any questions, let me know. Good luck this cycle. This is personally my third cycle. That first cycle was a lot of gains. That was like a historical cycle. Second one, didn't really know too much either. And yeah, fell for buying in actually at the highs. So this is going to be a much more simple cycle for me. Buy low and sell high. And throughout the video, I've shown the methods and thought process of how and why and specifics, and not just I hope it goes to this price. I hope XYZ happens. So now it's up to me to execute that plan and stick to the plan, which is very important. Probably the most important thing to do from this point, now that I have dollar cost averaged in throughout the past months or month or so. All right, YouTube, till next one.